Video I wanted to compare the movie Escape from the Planet of the Apes, one of the early Planet of the Apes films. There's 5 of those movies that came out back in the 70s. I've seen all those 5 movies and rewatched all of them recently within the past few years. And then you have the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes film from 2001, which I've seen at some point before, a long time ago, but I have not rewatched that movie recently. In fact, it's the only Planet of the Apes film that I've not rewatched anytime recently. When it comes to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I've seen all those films and rewatched all of them recently. And then I saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in theaters. I haven't yet rewatched it at home, but because that movie came out last year, I saw it not long ago. I'm going to compare Escape from the Planet of the Apes to this movie called Freebirds. Though actually, it's not a movie that I've seen. I just looked up Freebirds on my phone, realized, oh, I haven't actually seen this movie. I think that Escape from the Planet of the Apes is a good, though not great, Planet of the Apes film. I think it's interesting. That's more of a fish out of water comedy where you have these talking intelligent apes that go back in time to a point where apes are not intelligent, yet humans are actually intelligent, not primitive. These talking apes come from a future where that is reversed, where the apes are civilized, intelligent, while the humans have regressed and are primitive. I think that the ending of the movie definitely feels different compared to the rest of the movie. That is one of the problems. I would say there's a pretty big tone shift, honestly, because a lot of the movie is more lighthearted than other Planet of the Apes films. I mean, just compare Escape from the Planet of the Apes to War of the Planet of the Apes. There's a big difference between those movies. You look at War for the Planet of the Apes, there's moments that are more light, especially when that one ape called Bad Ape comes into the picture. But overall, that movie has a heaviness to it. It's not the most easily rewatchable Planet of the Apes film, to be honest, because there's a lot of tragedy that plays out throughout the course of the runtime. I think it's a great movie, a great conclusion to that trilogy for sure, but there's definitely other Planet of the Apes films that are just easier to get through. Even Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, you could argue, is maybe not quite as heavy as War for the Planet of the Apes, though there's definitely tragedy that happens in that movie as well. When it comes to Escape from the Planet of the Apes, there's a lot of humor in the movie, actually. I think that does work. I think the movie's pretty funny. I like how the movie gets you to understand where these humans are coming from. They're leery of these talking apes. You can understand what their perspective is. It's tragic that at the end this one human goes against the president's orders and actually tries to kill the apes, and the president said take them in, but take them in alive. When you get to the end, it's like, oh wow, almost all of our apes are gone. 2 of them, Zira and Cornelius, actually die at the end of the movie, and then you get a little glimmer of hope. But oh, okay, Caesar is still alive, but it's still definitely a tragic ending. Also, beginning of the movie, it definitely feels to me like the people who made this one had to quickly come up with an excuse as to why we can continue after the whole planet got blown up at the end of the last movie. But overall, I enjoy Escape from the Planet of the Apes. I've seen quite a good amount of animated films, but of course I haven't seen literally every single animated movie that's ever been made. I wouldn't try to watch every single one of them. No, that's not realistic. I'll wrap things up for this one.